Curly hair is the weakest hair texture. That is one of the biggest lies ever told, and in this video I am going to explain to you how the hair industry uses that lie and that insecurity to manipulate you and make millions and millions of dollars. So if you want the inside scoop, a 15-year cosmetology vet gone scientist, then make sure you keep on watching. Before I start talking, I just want to let y'all know a couple of my credentials so you don't think I'm just a chick on YouTube. Not only have I been in the hair industry for 15 years, I work hand in hand with a lot of these popular brands, and because I now identify as a scientist, and in this case I end up getting indoors and in conversations that most cosmetologists don't really get into unless they get into this part of the cosmetology field. So number one, make sure you have your pen and paper out because you need to take notes so you can stop getting played. Black hair does not produce oil, or naturally curly hair does not produce its own oil. So because you believe that you were not properly put together, right? Because you believe that God did not give the black woman oil coming from her scalp, it's super easy for them to make millions and millions of dollars selling you guys oil for the hair shaft, and then you're gonna always buy it. You're gonna keep buying it over and over again because certain products, if you use them improperly, like most of us do, then what you end up doing is slowing down the sebum production and making it harder for the sebum to get down the hair shaft in reality. But they're not going to tell you that, because if you know the truth, they don't make money. Combing your hair, right? Listen, so everybody started freaking out about combs and brushes and stuff and combing their hair, because when the Team Natural community came out, people was like, oh my God, you can't comb your hair, you can't brush your hair, you can't do all of that. What types of combs and brushes did they have prior to the Team Natural take, right? They didn't have as many bendy hair combs and brushes and stuff like that until the hair industry started showing people that they were afraid of combs and brushes. So of course, all of the companies that have already created combs and brushes forever are like, oh my God, they're scared of regular combs and brushes. This is stupid, but let's make a brush that makes them feel better. So as a result, there are a whole new line of combs and brushes, right? Combs and brushes that were not out on the market before, but you know, they're like, okay, this is what they're going with, so let's go with it. And they'll pick their favorite YouTuber or their favorite social media influencer, whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to say, and once they find a favorite to keep that narrative going, then they keep producing products for that fan base. It's very, very simple, guys. Which leads me to number three. So because people were so afraid of combs and brushes, at the same time they were afraid of combs and brushes, they started to be afraid of shampoo and conditioner. Brands were losing hundreds and thousands of dollars, like overnight, just boom, 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 losing money like crazy because women were afraid to shampoo their hair. YouTube, it was going around this new thing called co-wash, where you can use a conditioner and you just mix the conditioner with maybe some apple cider vinegar or something that has detoxifying properties, and then it's a co-wash, a conditioner that washes your hair, thus the term co-wash, right? Whoever is in charge of marketing, they gonna come through like, hey y'all, guess what, I gotta tell y'all something. Now they got this new thing. I know it's dumb, but it doesn't matter. Co-washing, where you take the conditioner and you give the conditioner, you mix the conditioner with apple cider vinegar. The conditioner, it has detoxifying properties. They're like, oh, apple cider vinegar, that's dumb. That's not really something you should mix with it, but we can extract some of those properties from apple cider vinegar and make a co-washer, a conditioner that acts as an astringent too. We can do that. and then the product is born. That is how it works, you guys. So because of the no shampooing theory, it led them to conversations so they can replace their bottom line, because they were losing so much money because people were no longer using shampoos and conditioners. I really hope this makes sense. Leave me some comments below if you sticking with me or if you think I'm pulling stuff out of my butt. Number 4 is breakage and trims. So as people are online, right, and they're like, oh my god, like my hair is so broken, I don't know what to do, single strand knot. Single strand knots. How do I fix these single strand knots? What do I do to get rid of these single strand knots? They hear that. They see it. People literally have jobs that they get paid an hourly rate to sit online and search social media to see what problems you're having and create solutions. We're about to talk about breakage, single strand knots, and everything. Mind you, the woman that's making the products, chemists and things of that nature, they are scientists. They understand that once the hair splits, once the hair shaft splits, there's no healing it, right? There's no repairing it, and anything that they do is just a temporary band-aid. They understand that. It is a product that they make millions and millions off of because they know that it's a product that you will forever use, because there is no healing a split end. But if you have a product that heals it and puts a band-aid on top of it, kind of like this video here, if you have a product that puts a band-aid on top of it, then what happens is you are given the illusion that your hair shaft is healing up. So when you run out of, when you're using this product, your hair shaft feels amazing. You can't see the breakage as much. But then once you stop using that product, then oh my god, my hair is breaking again. No, your hair never stopped breaking. That product just put a protective coat on it because it knew the insecurity and it had a solution for it. Supply and demand. And they also know that the black woman trusts the product lines and the companies way more than they trust their hairstylists. They know this for a definite fact, and this isn't taking shots. It is what it is. Anyone that's on social media can clearly see that in the black community, most of the time the black woman respects the words of the product line way more than she respects the words of her cosmetologist or her hairstylist, and that is for a couple of different reasons. Most people are so freaking scared of trims and they like to argue. Like sometimes I have people, grandkids on my channel like, oh, trims don't grow hair, trims don't grow hair. It's like, duh, like why would using some scissors on your ends grow your root? But like that don't even make sense. Who said that? Who said that? Who said it? I didn't say it. Trims help you retain length because if you're keeping up with your trims, you barely get anything cut. The women that are super freaked out about getting trims are women who never get them. If I have a client that's seeing me every 10 weeks, I'm barely trimming anything. It's maintenance. Just like if you take your car to get maintenance on your car, they're not gonna fix your whole car and change your brakes unless you need your brakes changed. They might change some stuff, rotate some stuff just to make sure your car is in proper running order, but they're not gonna take your whole car apart just because you're there. It's the same thing with the trim. Going to get regular trims is the way that you keep regular maintenance. I have worked in studio salons and solo salons for 15 years, right? When I was doing hair. And most of the time there would be women with hair to their butts and they were in there every single 8 weeks. They were in every 8 weeks for a trim. Every 8 weeks. Those women were there so much for their trims that I knew them by name. One lady that worked directly across the hall for me, her clients that came in, they came in for their trims like clockwork, hair to her butt. It has nothing to do with the texture of her hair. It had everything to do with her maintenance routine. She was able to retain length because her ends never split, because she was able to catch them and keep her ends polished before they ever got the opportunity to split. But see, most of us have such a big problem with that because we're like, oh, black women scissor happy, and that's because you guys are going to hairstylists and not cosmetologists, or you, because there are some dusty cosmetologists. A dusty cosmetologist, in my opinion, is one that gets her cosmetology license, and then after that the only education that she has is on YouTube. That's a dusty ass cosmetologist, and a lot of cosmetologists are dusty cosmetologists. It is what it is. But guess what, just like it's up to you to find a good OBGYN when you have a baby, it's up to you to find a good cosmetologist when you are dealing with your hair. Number 5, relaxers. Oh my god, relaxers, baby. Relaxers is one of the biggest mind that they give y'all, like point blank period. I don't care what nobody says, and this is why. All over social media, I made a video about it already as it pertains to relaxers being linked to fibroids. I'm gonna link it right here and in the description box, so go check it out after this video is over. But when it comes to fibroids and relaxers, no one ever came out and tried to say like, oh no, that's only for people doing box color. If you get it done professionally and you never let it touch the scalp, then you're okay. You're okay. They're not gonna tell you that. And they're not gonna tell you, oh, the only way that it causes fibroids is if you don't base it with petroleum. They're not gonna tell you that. Why? Because if they tell you that the only way that relaxers are causing fibroids is if the scalp is not properly based and the follicles are not blocked temporarily with petroleum, if they told you that the only way that you could stop relaxers from causing fibroids is if you went to a professional, they wouldn't make money off the box relaxer if you were only going to a professional, because those are two different relaxers. And then 2, they wouldn't make money off of you guys getting fibroids and the medication and the surgeries that you guys have to go through from having fibroids. They celebrate you guys having fibroids because then the doctors make money giving you the surgeries. You think they're gonna tell you guys the truth about that? No, they lose too much money telling you the truth, but they gain nothing telling you the truth. They gain everything with you believing that relaxers themselves cause fibroids. No. Box relaxers in the store at home cause fibroids, or you going to a cosmetologist that is not well versed in the science of hair is going to be an issue for you. Just the products that go within, they're not going to tell you guys, oh no, all you have to do is base it with a petroleum based product. You know why? Because one of their products, most of their highest converting products are made with a petroleum base. Why? Because petroleum is fossil fuel and it's so easy for them to get a hold of, and it's so cost effective because it's so cheap. Petroleum is made of the same exact thing that your gasoline is made of. When little sea creatures die, they float to the bottom of the sea. Okay, everything that's in there, plants, everything, it goes to the bottom of the sea and it creates this thick like tar paste, and then they put these big old machines, they got these big ass machines, right, and they put the machine into the ocean, go deep under the sea, and then once it gets under there, it sucks out this thick black tar, and they heat the tar up, and at different temperatures it turns into different things. At different temperature, that fossil fuel turns into gasoline, the same gasoline that you put in your car. It turns into some of the candle wax, and it also turns into petroleum, the same thing that you are putting in your scalp. Now, if that's something that you want to do, fine, but petroleum is one of the things that is causing most of the blockages within Black women. And one thing is, a lot of them, once again, it goes to what I said at the beginning. They understand that Black women don't trust the professional women that look like them as much as they trust these companies, because just right now there's somebody like, I be using petroleum all the time. But this is the thing, if you want to use it on your hair, use it on your ends. On your ends, it's fine. Why? Because it acts as a protective barrier. It makes no sense, and it's not up for debate when somebody says, oh, petroleum doesn't block the follicle. It's BS, because if you're coloring your hair black, right, and let's say try it for whoever say it don't block the follicle, get some black hair color and on one side of your head put petroleum from the middle to the ear, and then on the other side don't put nothing on there, and then rinse it off, put the color on there, put the black color up, put it all the way up to here, right, and then rinse it off. You will see that the side that was covered in petroleum is completely clear, but the side that wasn't is going to be stained like that for about a week. Why is that? The petroleum blocked the follicle. So to say this argument about petroleum blocking the follicle is dumb. Like, why are we talking about it? It's stupid. When you buy your boxer relaxer, they have a packet of petroleum in there to protect and block your follicle. Be quiet. Number 6 is the biggest myth and the biggest money maker for the hair industry, baby. Black hair is weak. The curlier your hair is, the weaker it is. Black hair is fragile. Your hair is fragile. It's gonna break easy. You gotta be so easy and calm with black hair because it's so fragile and it's so, girl, bye. It is the exact opposite, and they know this, but they're not going to tell you that, because if you knew how strong your hair was, and if you knew the amount of products that you actually had to use, the little bit of products that you actually needed, they would go bankrupt. So they're not going to tell you that. They're going to keep perpetuating this lie until y'all make it up in y'all minds to believe another narrative. Until then, they gonna keep pushing it because y'all push it. The more sulfur to sulfur linkages you have within the hair shaft, the curlier your hair is, because black women think that their hair is incomplete. Black women think that their hair is missing something, so you're walking around trying to find something to replace it with, but you don't understand that the last thing you want to do is put more product on your hair, because you already have more sulfur to sulfur linkages. So the curlier your hair is, the less product you need. Are you getting me? Stop arguing with each other about stuff. Stop trying to argue with me about stuff, and really look at the science. Look at the science, and when you look at the science, it's easy to pick out the bullshit from the science. All right, so speaking of picking out the bush and from the science, you guys, make sure that you click the link in the description box below. You know why? On this day, I am having a webinar, a free webinar, breaking down the deep scientific structure of hair and everything that has been holding you guys back, so you can break free from this. So you are interested in learning all of the negative habits that you've collected over the years, just simply from all of the marketing lies and all of the manipulation of your insecurities, then make sure that you click the link in the description box below so you can get your tickets to my free webinar. It is going to be amazing sauce. So yeah, make sure you sign up. It's free 99 and how you feeling real fine.